far beyond the warmth of our sun, where light itself grows thin and silence reigns supreme. Humanity's oldest messenger has done something no one expected. Turned back. Voyager 1, the spacecraft that has traveled farther than any human. Creation in history has suddenly broken the laws of its own destiny, and the signals it sent home. They weren't routine data. They carried a message so strange, so unsettling, that NASA scientists were thrown into chaos. What could possibly exist in the dark beyond our solar system that would cause Voyager 1 to reverse its course? And why does it have NASA on edge tonight? For more than 4 decades, Voyager 1 has sailed relentlessly forward, cutting deeper into interstellar space with every passing second. Its course was supposed to be fixed, a one-way journey into the infinite unknown, never to return. But then, in the middle of an otherwise routine transmission, something extraordinary appeared in the data stream. Subtle at first, a shift in trajectory measurements, a wobble in its path that should not exist. NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab in Pasadena, accustomed to handling anomalies, expected maybe a calibration glitch or a sensor hiccup. Instead, what they uncovered made the entire control room go silent. Voyager's navigation readings suggested a reversal, as if the spacecraft itself had altered direction, ever so slightly bending its arc back toward the solar system. Space doesn't allow for detours this way. There are no cosmic brakes, no invisible hands to tug a billion-dollar probe off its course. Yet the telemetry was undeniable. Panic mixed with disbelief as engineers replayed the data, running simulations again and again. Some whispered of gravitational disturbances, others of software corruption. But one chilling thought refused to die in that room. What if the turn wasn't mechanical at all? What if something out there had reached across the darkness and pushed Voyager 1? The first alerts rippled through NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab like an electric shock. Phones buzzed, secure lines lit up, and scientists who had gone home for the night were summoned back without explanation. In the control room, usually filled with the calm hum of routine monitoring, a tension settled that could be cut with a knife. The data packets from Voyager weren't just strange, they were impossible. Each set of numbers seemed to confirm the same bizarre truth. The spacecraft was no longer moving as predicted, and its instruments had registered something no model could account for. Emergency meetings were convened within minutes. Engineers huddled over screens, whispering theories they didn't dare say out loud in front of the group. Analysts ran cross-checks with other deep space antennas, desperate to prove it was just a transmission glitch. But the results came back consistent across multiple stations. Whatever Voyager had encountered, it was real, and the probe had responded. In a way no one anticipated, panic grew when they looked deeper into the signal. Hidden within the telemetry were spikes of unknown origin, sharp, rhythmic pulses unlike any natural cosmic interference. It was as though the spacecraft had picked up something external, and then reacted. Some insisted it was a coincidence, but the patterns were too deliberate, too precise to dismiss. The room fell silent as the realization spread. This wasn't Voyager malfunctioning. It was Voyager reporting back. And the final line of data, just before the transmission cut off, hinted at an image, a snapshot from the edge of interstellar space. What it contained left the entire team frozen in disbelief. When the first clean reconstruction of the transmission appeared on the monitors, the room drew in a collective breath. Voyager's instruments had captured a surge unlike anything cataloged in decades of space. Science-sharp spikes of radiation followed by intervals of silence repeating in a rhythm disturbingly similar to a heartbeat. It wasn't random static. It wasn't the background hum of the universe. It pulsed, deliberate, as though something alive had brushed against the probe's sensors. But the shock didn't stop there. Alongside the energy data came a fragment of imagery, a distorted snapshot compiled from Voyager's ancient cameras. At first it looked like a blur, but after enhancement the shapes began to emerge. A massive shadow loomed in the frame, featureless and immense, occupying far more space than any nearby stellar object should. Its edges were oddly defined, as though the thing were not simply a celestial body, but something structured. Some swore They saw angles lines where there should only be curves of dust and gas. The scientists leaned in closer. The location didn't match any known star field. Cross-references with stellar maps showed no match, as if the probe had glimpsed a corner of space unrecorded by human observation. The eerie part was the scale. Whatever this object was, it dwarfed anything in the vicinity, too massive to ignore, yet invisible to Earth's most powerful telescopes. And then came the final detail. The pulses that Voyager registered appeared to sync with the moment the image was captured, as though the energy wasn't just present, it was responding. Was this a cosmic anomaly? Was a natural phenomenon defying known physics? Or was it evidence of something far more intentional, something that noticed Voyager drifting into its territory, and chose to reveal itself in the only way we could understand? The data gave no answers, only a chilling reminder. The universe is vast, perhaps not empty. Within hours of the leak, the scientific world lit up like wildfire. Astrophysicists lined up on news broadcasts, each offering their version of the truth. Dr. Emily Harper from Caltech suggested the pulses could be the product of gravitational lensing, some bizarre trick of light and matter warping Voyager's instruments. It looks strange, yes, she admitted on live television. But extraordinary data doesn't always mean extraordinary causes, yet not everyone shared her caution. Former NASA engineer Marcus Drell, who had left the agency years earlier, painted a darker picture in a podcast that immediately went viral. The rhythm in that signal is too clean, too intentional, he argued. You don't get patterns like that in the wild. Something is speaking whether we're ready to hear it or not. Meanwhile, on social media, theories ran rampant. Some latched onto the idea of a cosmic threat, an object so massive and hidden that it could shift Voyager's path. Others argued this was the first undeniable proof of intelligence beyond Earth, that NASA was scrambling to contain the fallout before the public demanded answers. Even within NASA, unnamed insiders spoke to journalists under the condition of anonymity. One chilling quote circulated widely. "We're not asking if Voyager malfunctioned. We're asking what it encountered." The debate only deepened the mystery. Was the data nothing more than a technical ghost, an echo of aging equipment in deep space? Or had Voyager stumbled upon something that science itself wasn't prepared to explain? For days, the data was treated as a puzzle of physics, a strange but explainable hiccup in the machinery of the cosmos. But then one analyst, combing through the raw transmission logs, noticed something chilling. The pulses weren't just rhythmic, they were repeating. Every burst of energy fell into a precise sequence, the same rise and fall, the same intervals, over and over again. At first, it seemed too outlandish to suggest aloud. Yet once the pattern was graphed, the conclusion became impossible to ignore. Voyager wasn't relaying noise, it was relaying structure. The realization hit like a thunderclap, or natural interference. Is messy, chaotic, unpredictable. This was none of those things. Instead, it looked eerily like a signature and intentional design buried inside the chaos of space. Was it a code? A greeting? A warning? No one could say for certain. But the idea that something in the abyss had not only registered Voyager's presence, but had answered back, shook even the most skeptical minds. In that moment, the story of a drifting probe transformed into something far larger. Voyager's signal was no longer evidence of malfunction or anomaly. It was a conversation starter. And the terrifying question remained, who or what was speaking to us from the dark? Now, if the signal truly carried intent, then humanity may have already crossed a threshold we can't retreat from. The implications ripple far beyond the walls of NASA. Was this simply a cosmic hello? A recognition that we are not alone? Or was it something darker, an early warning? A sign that our fragile planet has been noticed by forces we cannot yet comprehend? The thought is exhilarating and terrifying in equal measure. Some argue this could usher in a new era of discovery, where first contact leads to breakthroughs in science, technology, maybe even a sense of unity across Earth. Others whisper the opposite, that attention from beyond could spell danger. The way a lantern in the night attracts not only allies, but predators. and hanging over all of it is the possibility of silence. Could NASA bury this revelation, branding it a glitch and locking the truth behind closed doors, fearing mass panic? Or will the data leak faster than they can contain it, sparking debates that stretch from classrooms to parliaments worldwide? Whatever the answer, one thing is certain: the signal has forced us to confront the most profound question of all. If we are not alone, what comes next? Out there beyond the reach of our telescopes, Voyager still drifts. Its faint signal cuts across the cold silence of interstellar space, a whisper that refuses to die. Night has fallen here on Earth, yet that probe sails endlessly through a darkness far deeper than any we can imagine. Its instruments, built decades ago, continue to speak, a steady heartbeat echoing against the void. But now, some say that heartbeat has changed, a distortion, a pulse, a message. Imagine it, the greatest machine humanity ever sent beyond our solar system may have brushed against something unknown, something waiting in the black. To some, it is hope, the promise that we are no longer alone. To others, it is dread, the thought that Voyager's wandering light has exposed us, revealed our fragile world to eyes we cannot see, and so we stand here, between awe and fear, wondering what story the stars are beginning to write about us. Is this only static, just the fragile cough of an aging probe? Or was this the first true reply, the moment humanity was noticed by something far beyond us? That answer, for now, still lingers. In the silence,